Alrighty, let's optimize some accounts. So now a lot of this is going to be very situational based, and honestly, I can't really show you too much in terms of how to do it here. I'm going to give you my mental models, the main five I follow, what I really focus on when I get into accounts. But the best way to optimize accounts is get your hands on accounts, and that's very hard to do because if you're not working for a brand or working for an agency, you only get accounts when you sign a client, right? That's really where you kind of need those free accounts to get into. So you just play around, get the data. Um, Really, I would say the best area to kind of just study other people, other Google ad people on Twitter, YouTube, especially when they kind of look at videos. I'll have a lot of videos coming out very soon. If you follow my YouTube, kind of walking about this, because I really want to start showing weekly, like actual live breakdowns. Because even my coaching students, like that's the main thing they want to see, right? So I'll be doing that kind of stuff. Not trying to promote myself here, but that will be an area to really try to follow me for that, because I do want to start doing actual account optimizations and audits stuff together where I can be more of a collaborative. Because right now I'm going to give you my mental models, but it's hard to kind of you see that and say, okay, well, how does that actually work, right? So really watching Solutions 8 is a great channel that does this as well, especially John Moran. He taught me a lot, and that's a great area to look at as well. Honestly, not too many other people on Twitter I see talking about actual breaking down accounts or optimizing accounts. It's very best practice based, which, hey, it gets you easy followers, but doesn't really showcase what your actual knowledge is, right? You're still in low shade. But let's go through this. I want to give you my mental models because I think it'll be useful for you to kind of see how do I think about accounts. And I think that's better than showing you, basic best practice stuff that, oh, look at your search terms, look at your keywords, look at your ad copy for this or that. It all depends, right? And there's no, I give my students checklists, I give my consulting brands checklists, and yes, it helps, but to a certain point. Do I follow a checklist? No. I will look at it and see, okay, what should I really focus on this week? Or I'll make notes week to week to think of, hey, like next week I should expect to see this. But it's more so you need to understand how accounts, you got to feel the account. And I'm not trying to be weird about it, but you do need to look at an account enough and the data where the data starts telling you what it's doing and why it's doing it. And that's hard to do. Like if you can't use the software, you can't use Optimizer or any other, bullshit like that where you just pay for it to tell you, because this all doing is running formulas to see, oh, the clicks went up, conversion went down, this is what happened, right? And you can do that very easily if you are in an account enough, and if you actually care about this and make it your service, make it your career, go work in an agency, go work at a brand doing it, you'll learn over a couple months, oh, this went up because that went down, this went down, so that went up. It's all correlated, it's all a story. So I want to give you, I think, this is better to me. If I was relearning, I'd rather see mental models versus examples in this. I think, of course, this is best. And then looking at content, looking at other stuff is better for breakdowns. And I can even, if you guys have feedback, I can add stuff to it as well. And that'd be the best case. But let me just give you some mental models and then really write down this stuff. And next time you go through an account, next time you watch a video of someone going through an account, ask yourself, how would you do that? Like what, and think about, okay, they did, like pause videos. Like, hey, if I noticed my conversions were down, he went to search terms. Why did he go to search terms? Oh, he went to look at spend. Why did he look at spend? Ask those questions. So you start breaking that down in your head and giving yourself different mental models of, oh, he did this because of this, this, and this, right? So I'm gonna try to give that today. It's gonna be tough, but I can do it. So mental model 1 is a top-down approach. This is the biggest thing you should always do because it gives you the most for the least amount of effort and time. So to ensure we make the biggest changes possible in the shortest amount of time, we always look at top spending first and then down the line. So this applies to campaigns, ad groups, products, keywords, asset groups, audience targeting. Any data you look at, you always sort top down by spend. It could be clicks, it could be conversions, but you always want to do top down. Why? Let's say you have 5 ad groups and you spent $1,000 and you don't look at it. You just click into the campaign and you look at the first ad group that's shown to you, but that only has 5 clicks. And the third ad group in there has, or let's say you spend $1,000, the first ad group you looked at only spent $10 over the last 30 days versus the next ad group had spent $800. Which ad group should you be looking at? The one that spent $5 or the one that spent $800 with $1,000 in a 30-day period? Probably the one that spent 80% of the budget, right? This applies to everything. Google always finds its winners and always pushes certain products, ad groups, assets, keywords, whatever, because it has its winner and will push spend to that. It's never going to be equally distributed if you have more than one ad group. Never. So This is where you really want to focus on what spends the most, what gets the most click volume, what gets the most conversion volume, and you always go top down. So anytime you got to do anything in terms of any view, so it could be the campaign, ad group, keyword, right? Sort it by cost, sort it by conversions, sort it by click volume, sort it by impressions. Doesn't matter what you sort it by. Ideally, you want to. I lean towards, spend, clicks, and conversions, but you could do impressions if you want to see what's actually happening the most. And optimize top down, right? Save your time, focus on the biggest changes possible. And then yes, once you have longer, more in-depth optimization time periods where you're really trying to audit an account, then go down the next second, third, fourth. But you never want to start, let's say you have 5 ad groups, you never start with, you don't want to stop or start bottom up. Makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense for you, right? So always start top down. Biggest thing you can do. Second is mental model number 2, the multi-layer timelines. So what is this? We always want to be looking at multiple timeline views for making any optimizations. Why? To not be affected by recency bias, aka the tendency to overemphasize the importance of recent experiences or the latest information we possess from estimating future events. Keyword, estimating future events. So if I look at only the last 7 days and I think, oh wow, we had a great last 7 days, but historically, let's say the last 60 days has been shit. But the last 7 days has been amazing. Well, I'm going to scale. We're doing great. We can have more keywords. We can just double the budget. But if you don't look at the last 14 days, last 30 days, last 60 days, last 90 days to see actual trends, you're making uninformed decisions that will affect your actual profitability, even if the potential to make any money. You might lose a client because you're not thinking far back. You have to kind of see what is the actual trend versus what's the recent stuff that's happening. So how many and what time periods, right? I usually try to do 3. Usually, I guess I said it right here. But this will depend on your brand sales cycle, aka the time from ad to the actual customer. So if it's 6-month sales cycle, I want to be looking back at least 6 months. If it's a 7-day cycle, then I could probably be looking back latest 30 days just to see more of a trend analysis. But you will always use a 3 timeline approach: micro, meso, and macro. What does this mean? Micro is latest performance. Think last 3 days, last 7 days. Meso is starting to see trends, usually 14-ish days, just get at least 2 weeks. That could be up to 1 or 2 months, depending on your sales cycle. And macro, full trends have developed. This could be up to 6 months, could be up to a year. Those are really long timelines. Usually for me, I do 7 days, 14 days, and 30 days. And then an occasional 60 to 90, just kind of see how is it looking quarter over quarter, or making longer form decisions, how is it actually panning out when I look back. And I do this weekly. Like I want to see different changes week to week and just kind of give myself different timelines and seeing, oh, this would happen here, here, and here. And I always do it top down. I don't waste time. Mental amount number three, data stories. So with Google, you have a lot of data. Too much data for most people, to be honest. Even for me, sometimes it is overwhelming. But we use this data to get our competitive advantage. So this is why you don't use software, because it will bite you in the butt one day. And you need to know that everything has a connection and a relationship. And anything that you pay to find, you can find for yourself probably quicker. And you'll then know, oh, I should look here, 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 because these are the 4 spots that if this is affected, these 4 have to be affected, or this is how to fix it, right? So these are just examples. If we see conversion rate dip, I will look at the SERP positioning and seasonality. Did we lose? We were in first position, now we're in third because our CPCs went down, or a seasonality, they drop, or did a product hit inventory issues? If we see the CAC increase, we'll look at our CPC and our CVR. Because why? CAC is a byproduct of the CPC times CVR relationship. If we spent $1 CPC, 10% conversion rate, our CAC is what? $10, right? Now, if our CAC went to $20, oh, did our CPC rise? Did our conversion rate worsen? Right? There's just easy ways to kind of look at this data because it's all interconnected. Every single thing in Google Ads or analytics is always connected. So if you look at one place, you'll find the answer for something else. Number four, man, my R's. Schedule in blank space. This is a big one. Try to do this weekly. When you follow a checklist, if you're a beginner, you should. But there'll be stuff you miss / do not think about properly when being such a routine. This is the main thing, thinking. Now, I would really suggest for most accounts, you try to get at least 30 minutes a week of just going through the data, not having a checklist to follow, and just asking random questions yourself, allowing yourself to go through rabbit holes, just seeing a certain, maybe a dashboard, maybe a report, maybe a product page you never check out, and just go through and see, oh, what is this? Why is this data this? Should I look at that? Just random questions that you should ask yourself and just allow yourself to just do and go through the account. You should not have a goal of fixing anything in this blank space. This is more just allow yourself either think of new strategies, see potential holes you're missing, maybe see something, oh, I haven't tested this. I'll ask my next month checklist to test, right? Always just allow yourself to kind of go through there and just see, just let yourself wander. That's a huge one. Then the last one is only viewing significant data. So you will not make optimizations every day unless you're spending at least probably 2-3K a day. You're overanalyzing it. At the end of the day, you're tailoring a machine. You're literally learning faster than you ever could, like the machine is itself. So you will wait for enough data over a period of time, and this is very dependent on how much you spend versus the number of clicks and impressions, right? So if you spend $100 a day and your CPCs are $10, you can at best get about 10 clicks a day. I want to have at least 100 clicks usually before I make any informed decisions. You can obviously, if you're at 70 clicks and awful click-through rate, awful time on site, searches look bad, of course make decisions, right? But if it's very close data, I want to make sure I have 100 clicks and 1,000 impressions. That's usually the way I go. But obviously, I'd like to have as long as possible. Misspelled preferably, apparently. But as much data as possible. That can be, if that's monthly, it's monthly. If it's weekly, it's weekly. If it's every couple of days, every couple of days. It really depends on the sales cycle, the amount you're spending, the time and age of the account as well. If you're working with smaller budgets with expensive CPCs, you have to make more gut decisions. So again, let's say you're doing a lawyer, right, for example, or a SaaS with really competitive stuff. If the sales cycle is long, let's say it's 60 days on average, and you're spending $100 a day, but your CPCs are $30, you're only getting 2 to 4 clicks a day. I mean, you can wait months on months, but it could break the business. So you might need to make decisions shorter or try to really force volume through other means. Can I get more clicks via display, via YouTube, and make other data decisions that way than relying on search ads? So that's just 5 different mental models I really like to use. Again, more how to think about it, less in accounts. That's for other stuff and other times. This is really want to focus on because this is what was a game changer for me. I'm trying to build these mental models to learn these when I was looking at accounts and how to actually think about it. So hopefully it helped you. And in the next video, let's see what we're going to go. The next video, we're going to do how do I get clients? Ooh, that's a fun one. Stick around.